Hi, folks. I'm Monty Bombelyn, host of Pleasure Island Conversation, the area's only talk, information, and entertainment program.
Blank Surfaces has been highlighting filmmakers since its first episode aired back in 1999. One of the artists is Fraser Coull. He is an award-winning Scottish filmmaker whose work is still regularly featured on our program. I recently had the unique opportunity to do a remote interview with him. Now here's more.
Did you hear that? Is it you? Run. We had a good run. Right?
Try it.
Oh my god, you're real. You're really real. This is so epic. I'm glad we can hear you.
Fraser, I have read that at a young age you like to draw comic books and write stories about superheroes. What made you decide to go for a career in filmmaking?
So I wanted to get into filmmaking because as a young age I was obsessed with reading Spider-Man comics and watching Spider-Man on TV. And when I was kind of at a crossroads in my life, when I was like 20, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of working in some shops and I just wasn't really finding something that was making me happy. I worked in an office and I didn't enjoy it. I worked in a shop and I didn't enjoy it. So I was flicking through the kind of prospectus for a college, a local college, and TV production was in there, and it kind of detailed what you would do in TV production, coming up with ideas, and you get to make some short films and get some writing experience and get some filmmaking experience. And that was that for me, who grew up writing short stories about my family pets and the adventures they would have in my back garden, and about a superhero who might have been called Barry Allen because I was a fan of The Flash at the time. The original Flash back in the 1990s, not the new shiny Flash I have now, showing my age slightly. And that just kind of really excited me, the idea that I could go and learn how to make TV shows. That kind of spun off into making films and now full circle back to making kind of TV shows. But yeah, that is what got me into it. I just, to learn how to do that, to take one of my stories or my scripts and turn it into an actual product, an actual show or a film or a short film that people could watch and enjoy, that was just far too exciting for me to not.
Fraser, the name of your production company is Silly Wee Films. What made you come up with that name?
Okay, so Silly Wee Films came about in the most hilarious and boring way ever. We were at college and we were in the first year and there was a group of students in the second year and they needed extras to be in their film that they were making. And so it was me, Mike and Kiri, who were my classmates. And Mike and I, in between takes, were talking about our own ideas for films and what we were going to do. And we were just getting loud and we weren't really paying attention to what we were being told what to do because we were too busy getting excited about our own films. Something that I would now slap down any extras for in my own productions if that happens. Like, shush, on your own time. And Kiri kind of belted me and Mike in the back of the head. So he goes, oh, stop talking about your Silly Wee Films. And that just stuck with me. That just sounded brilliant and ridiculous, and it stands out and people remember it for good and bad reasons, and it just was too good a name to miss out on. So yeah, that's why Silly Wee Films is Silly Wee Films, and it's a name that'll probably be on my grave, let's be honest.
Where did the idea for the movie Night is Day come from?
Night is Day the movie came from Night is Day the series, and Night is Day the series came from a short film. I was at the BBC in Scotland as part of their E-Force training programme with the wonderful Annie Woods, who is still my friend to this day. So this would have been before college, so it probably would have been about 2003. So I wouldn't have been that old then. And I got into this training program through the job centre, and basically I saw an advert and they were looking for, it was a competition, and they wanted a short film trailer for a movie that didn't exist. And I was obsessed with superheroes, as I've said before. Spider-Man, The Flash, these Wonder Woman, Supergirl, these are all kind of my favourite superheroes. Captain Marvel is now in there too. And basically I came up with this idea about a superhero. It was called Birthright at the time. It wasn't called 90s Day. I still don't know I can't remember where 90s Day came from. I have a thing about calling all of my projects free words for whatever reason, because there's Cops and Monsters, 1 year later, 90s Day, 2.5 minutes. Just all of these, like, just, I had this weird thing. My new film's called Origins, so I'm breaking my own trend. And Death Whatever is obviously not free. Anyway, I'm getting away. So the idea was about this superhero. He had to be troubled and broody, because I was watching a lot of Angel at the time and Buffy. So I like the kind of anti-hero thing. And the idea was, if he touched you, he saw how you would die if you were about to be in immediate danger, basically. And he would jump in and save the day. At the time when we were doing the trailer for it, he didn't have any other superpowers beyond that. It wasn't until we started doing 90s Day as a short film that he developed his lightning powers, his electricity powers, whatever. It kind of chops and changes, depends on what I'm in. And because of, we did the short film, and then we did 2 seasons of the web series, and the web series ends in a kind of cliffhanger, and I wanted to conclude that story. I wanted to do that. So that's where the idea for 90s Day, the movie, came from. I ended up not continuing this series at all. I ended up telling a whole brand new story. I've always been a fan of Scottish mythology, and to this day I'm still a fan of Scottish mythology. I find it all really interesting, and the more I read about it, the more cool, it sounds so cool. I've no idea why we haven't done a TV show about it or a film about it properly. Everyone goes to Loch Ness and Nessie and the Loch Ness Monster, but there's so much more beyond that, and it really infuriates me that we've yet to tap into it. But I'm currently trying to tap into it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I decided with Jason, our hero, he dealt with gangsters before and little demons kind of before, and monsters and whatnot, so I wanted to pit him against a proper Scottish creature called the Kayak Vuur, and yeah, I just wanted to see what we could do with that. So that's where the idea for 90s Day the movie came from.
What was the most difficult part for producing the movie 90s Day?
It wasn't really difficult. Not when I look back on it. We had 19 days to film everything. We did it over weekends. I think we shot consecutively every weekend until it was done. We didn't have any money. The funding bodies weren't interested in us. We didn't really have any support. Andrew Dougal, Drew, very kindly gave us enough money so we could get some equipment that we needed. And Artist Media came on board, and they gave us their equipment as well, and they shot it. And we were just lucky. We just begged, borrowed and stole, basically, and called in a lot of favours to make it happen. So I think the most difficult part was just getting through those shoots, because there were long days, and it was quite complicated, and there was some fight scenes.
Jason! How's it going, buddy? I guess it was just a matter of time, eh? And you've got a lady friend with you. Well, ain't that just wonderful? I wonder how long it'll be until you lose this one.
He talks too much.
Yeah, he has that problem.
Shall we do the whole, tell me what you're doing here? Well, I don't think I should. Well, I think you should. Well, I'm not going to. Yes, but I have the sparky. Yeah.
For a lot of us, it was the first time making a feature film. So that was it was a bit of a challenge to make sure that we got it right. And I think we did. I think we got it right. But I'd say the hardest part definitely was just getting through the shoot days. There was a lot of good times on it, and there was a lot of bad times on it as well. But that's a movie. That's what happens. We're all kicking the ball the same way, and we're all trying to make something good and entertaining for people, and just trying to make sure people are all on the same page. Can be a bit of a challenge, but hey ho, that's movie making for you. I'm very proud of 90s Day. We shot it in 2011. It's on Amazon Prime now. People are enjoying it. We won an award. We won Best Low Budget Feature Film at the Los Angeles Motion Picture Festival, which was really exciting and really quite weird for a film that was essentially 10 years old, more or less. to win an award 10 years later, 8 years after its premiere. But yeah, that was quite nice. So all kind of paid off.
The main character of Night is Day is James Mackenzie. What is one way you wish to be like him?
What is one way I wish I could be like Jason Mackenzie? He wears leather jackets really nicely, and I don't think I can do that. I don't know. Jason's a bit of a troubled character. He's like, his life was a bit of a riot before he became a superhero or a guardian, a protector, a hero of the people, of the masses. And when he becomes a superhero, he kind of has this really lonely life where he can't really get close to anybody because if he touches them, he's going to be in pain, they're going to be in pain, he sees has to die, and you really want to have that foreknowledge. Or if you were a person who he saw a vision of, would you necessarily want to know what was going to happen to you? And people around them get kidnapped quite a lot because he doesn't wear a mask. It's not you can easily connect who he is. So no, I'm sorry, I don't think I would want to be like Jason. Apart from, no, I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything about Jason that like, sorry.
How would you explain the series Cops and Monsters?
Cops and Monsters is a low-budget supernatural police thriller. Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Taggart, but you don't have Taggart in America as well as you probably would know here. So it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets CIS Miami, but not Miami, maybe LA. It's a bit grimy. It's a bit more down to earth than Miami. It's a bit more downtown LA, so we'll go with that. Basically, the first series follows the paranormal investigation team Scotland, PITS, as they police and protect the supernatural community in an alternative near-future Scotland, where vampires, werewolves and zombies are part of everyday society. I don't really think it's suitable for young children, but young children and parents seem to enjoy it together. So that's up to you, but I'm not endorsing young children to watch that show. In particular, series 2, and a couple of the little mini episodes, it gets a little bit sweary and a little bit more violent, a little bit more gruesome. So this is the creator's public disclaimer. I do not endorse young people watching the show. If you want to watch it, grown-ups, mums, dads, aunts, uncles, whatever, you watch it first. Not just because it helps with our ratings on Amazon Prime. You watch it first, and if you deem it suitable for your kids, have at it, and I hope you all love it. And in series 2, we kind of carry on from there, where it's the spiders who have taken over, and they're kind of a militant police force. And Maya Hedges, who was one of our lead characters from series 1, she's now undercover with spiders, and she's trying to prevent an all-out war between the supernaturals and humanity, and it'll be really bad. So she's trying to make sure that the spiders don't overstep their mark and accidentally start a war. We've shot one series of that, and we've shot the first episode of series 2, and we're waiting to find out if we get some money to do the rest of that, because I really want to finish Cops and Monsters.
Where did the idea for the Cops and Monsters series come from?
Cops and Monsters came from me being at Comic-Con in Scotland it's now called Film and Comic-Con Glasgow. When I was a boy, it was called Collectormania Glasgow. And 2 years in a row, we were there with Night's Day, the movie, promoting it. We were there briefly with the series, but we don't talk about that. We were there with the movie for 2 years in a row, and we had the best time ever, and it was so cool, and everyone was super nice and super friendly. And then I went a year or two later, and I was too busy working at the BBC at the time that I didn't have any of my own projects on the go. We'd just done 1 year later, which is to this day my favourite ever short film that I've made. And I met Carol Blackie. It might be Carol Blackley. I think it's Carol Blackley. Carol, we met Carol. And Carol was a really big supporter of mine, especially with Night's Day. Brilliant woman, absolutely inspirational, and she suffers from MS, and she's now wheelchair bound for the most part. And she bumped into me and she goes, "Why, have you got a table? Have you got a stall? Are you doing anything?" And I said, No, I'm not going anything. She goes, "What do you mean I've got anything?" I said, "I don't have any. I'm not doing anything. I have no ideas." And she just looked at me and she went, "Just do something." Now, she might have swore, and I'm not going to do that. But she went, "Just do something. You've got no excuse." And I've looking down on her with her MS, the way she was, and I was like, yeah, I don't really have an excuse not to do something. So I was walking around with my girlfriend at the time, and I was battering about ideas. And I really loved the show Torchwood, which is a Doctor Who spin-off, and I really loved the show Being Human, which is about a sort of secret vampire werewolf society. It's first in Bristol, I think, and then the later season moves to Wales. So I just loved the idea of putting those two worlds together and making it very Scottish. So that is where the idea for Cops and Monsters came from. And Mark Harvey, who was in 90s Day, he said, why don't you just call it Cops and Monsters? Just say what it does on the tin. And that was the first title that we came up with, and that was the one that went. So on my tombstone, it was a Fraser Coull, Sotheby Films, 90s Day, and Cops and Monsters, and nothing else. That's all people know.
Where can people go to see your films and series, like Cops and Monsters and Night is Day?
So Cops and Monsters and Night is Day and 1 Year Later, the short film, they are all on Amazon Prime. And you can watch them in 60 countries around the world now. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch them for free, and if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can rent or buy them. We don't get very much money for it, so please watch it again and again and again. Cops and Monsters and 1 Year Later is also on Google Play, and that's available in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. So go forth and watch and enjoy, and if you don't like it, don't tell anybody.
Are you currently working on any new projects?
I'm currently working on 1,252 new projects. Now, I've got a little short film in the works called Dream Girl, which is a sort of spiritual successor to 1 Year Later, which is about a guy called Derek and his best friend Rebecca, and he's met the girl of his dreams called Heather, but literally she is only in his dreams. And it's a kind of comedy drama about how far he'll go to be with his dream girl Heather, and it kind of escalates quite quickly. And I'm also working on a new feature film called Origins, even though I swore after Night's Day I would never make another feature film again. I feel with Origins when we have a chance to make up for some mistakes we made on Night's Day. I've always wanted another crack at doing a feature film with a bit more money and a bit more support and definitely a bit more experience. So Origins is an unofficial sequel to Night's Day. You will not need to know what Night's Day was about to appreciate Origins, although I might sneak in some cameos at some point. We'll see how that goes. And it's about a young girl called Effie, and she knows she was adopted from a young age, and it's on the day of her wedding. She keeps getting these visions of this kind of girl from the 16th century and this real bad dude called Dear York. And basically, she finds out a secret, and it coincides with a bunch of Scottish mythological creatures being let loose on her island, in the Highlands. And her and her friends have to stop them, and that's all I will say about Origins. But I'm only in the midst of writing the first draft, but it's going quite well so far. And we've got a little Twitter, Film Origins, and we're on Facebook, Origins Feature Film, and we're on Patreon as well, so check us out.
Do you have any advice for anyone who is looking to become a filmmaker?
My advice to anyone who wants to become a filmmaker is don't do it. It's torturous and I don't need the competition. Just pick up a camera. You can do it now on your smartphones. There's no excuse. Get your mates together, write a script. You can find so many script examples online. Download them, see what everyone else is doing, and just go make a film. Make your mistakes, then learn from them, then make another film, and then make new mistakes, and then make another film, and just keep making work and getting it out there for people to see and getting feedback, because some people will be super nice and helpful, and some people will just be really silly and pointless. Ignore the silly, pointless people and listen to the people who are constructive, and just keep making films. There's no excuse to not do it. You don't.
Do you have a degree in filmmaking?
Is, do I have a degree in filmmaking? And I don't. I have an HNC in TV production, which means I'm barely qualified to even make television, let alone make films. You don't need a degree to make a film. You don't. There's no harm going off to do a TV and film course. Absolutely, you'll learn things that I think are really super important. But I've done it my own way for the last 10 years, and we're still making films. I'm not rich, I'm not super famous, so maybe I should have went to film school and got a degree, but you don't need a degree to do it. Just go make films. It's the best feeling in the world when you shot all day long and then you and the team sit and watch all the footage that you shot that day. That's the best feeling in the world, to see what was in your head on that screen, and see actors and wonderful talented people who know more than you do that thing. That is just unbelievably amazing. So yes, go do that. That's so much fun.
Do you think it's important for people to go to school and study filmmaking to become a filmmaker?
So do I think it's important for people to go to school and study filmmaking and become a filmmaker? No, you don't have to. I've just covered this. It'll probably do you no harm, but it just depends how much money you have, and I'm sure you'll go make a lot of nice friends. If I could, I would go to an American film school. I'd probably do the one in LA, just for the opportunity to shoot on the back lot of Universal Studios where they made Back to the Future. That would be my only reason for doing it, maybe. I'm too old now. I'm too old to do it. I don't think it'll do you any harm to do it, but I don't think it's super important. I think at the end of the day, we can make films about them. So just go for film.
I enjoy seeing your films and series. I'm following the Origins as it progresses.
Good, you should follow Origins.
How can people learn more about you and your films?
I've got a Facebook page called Fraser Coull Filmmaker. You can find out everything that's going there. I also have a Patreon account which has of the same name, Fraser Coull Filmmaker, where I'm putting up blogs and videos and behind the scenes and kind of everything that I'm doing. So I kind of got all that up there. And I'm on Twitter, Ecosay Filmmaker. You can follow me there too. I tweet out some of my stuff, and that's the best place to find out what I'm doing. Just find me on social media.
Thank you, Fraser. I enjoy talking with you, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
But yeah, Alexis, thank you so much for sending your questions to me. I'm sorry we can't do it face to face, but you're all the way over there, and I'm all the way over here, and there's a virus between us. But yeah, good luck with everything that you do. Stay awesome, be brilliant. Can't wait to see all this put together. And thank you so much to Lance and everyone across the canvas for supporting me and the team and everyone who works on all of our various projects. It's nice that we've got a little bit of a champion out there in the States who is showing off all their stuff for us. So thank you very much. We love you. And stay safe, stay happy, stay groovy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Shut up and sit down.
Do you recognize any of them? I can't wait to add yours to the collection.
I'm sorry for what I've done.
You can tell it yourself.
This won't bring your sister back, Caris.
No? But it'll bring her peace. What? What's so funny?
All this time chasing monsters in the dark, and you've yet to realise you've become one yourself.
Stop it! You did this to me. You took away my life and left me with nothing but vengeance.
Neither of us can escape this now, Caris.
I can end it, one way or the other.
Hades! Miss it! Again! Connor, don't do this! Fight it!
Seriously, Stephen, how'd I look? Like $1 million. Well, £621,801 and 20 pence. Thanks. Do you think she'll say yeah? Of course. Who would say no to my wee brother? Michelle Barton. You were 6.
Aye, she was more interested in you.
I had a Game Boy. All the girls were interested in me.
Well, there's no risk of that this time.
Is it because everybody's playing the Xbox now?
No, it's because you're dead. Remember.
Yeah. You're gonna be late. Your wallet's in your room. Cheers. That's what I'm here for. I guess.
Yeah, but you wanted a family and I said it wasn't time yet. Well, I think it is now. I'm done fighting. Ow, ow, ow.
Do you know how happy this makes me?
Yeah, I do.
And you're sure about this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you can still give me a baby after all the...
Well, we'll soon find out.
I love you.
I love you too.
Can we help you, Crusher?
What do you want? Look, I'm not having a rematch. I beat you fair and square. Look, don't make me put you down again.
What do you think you're
No,
doing?
wait, come on, no, don't do this. We both know you won't. No! No, Amy, Amy, hold on.
I'm so sorry, Charlie.
Please. Amy, sweetheart, hold on, please. Oh, Amy, please, sweetheart. No. Amy. Someone help me! Please, someone help!
What can I tell you? He's a
John, look at me. Listen, concentrate. Look. All right, listen. Hey, get your head out of the clouds.
Yeah, get my head out of the clouds, I understand, all right? But you just fucking try standing here doing this. Okay?
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. You're standing, listening.
And never moving on. I get you. I can do this, though. I can't do
Stop
it with you.
fucking interrupting me!
Well, the guy was so full of himself. You see, he wanted all the screen time. But I'm Michael Bain. Not a lot of people know that. Nah, this one, he's cutting off the end of my lines. I says bollocks to that, and I gives him a slap. We actually kept it in the film, which you can see.
Now, you listen here. I've scored 100
goals, yeah, I know. Wrong.
Right, you little shit. You're a small man, and you're not very good. I do this for a living. Now, behave yourself.
But I will say this. He's a versatile